Only the very best fighters
Champion of the world!
will rise to become UFC champion.
Still undisputed!
But the few who consistently defend the belt
He continues to just destroy and dominate.
could one day be remembered as the greatest of all time.
These two men have beaten everyone anyone has put in front of them and done so in a spectacular way.
UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones
He is the present and he is the future.
and reigning welterweight king Tyron Woodley
This guy is one of the greatest welterweight champs of all time.
are on their way to achieving such iconic status.
He might be the greatest talent that we've ever seen in the UFC.
But each man knows it's one thing to be called the greatest and another to prove it.
Greatness is an opinion, but dominance, that can't be disputed.
This indomitable spirit, this will to win. Jon Jones is not willing to lose.
My goal is to be considered the most badass and the most dominant.
Tyron Woodley's landing bombs.
It's not just going out there and beating guys, it's destroying them.
The path to welterweight gold still goes through Missouri.
I wanted to be Tyron Woodley and everybody else.
Gold's right there, they gotta come get it.
At UFC 235 in Las Vegas, the champs are faced with headstrong challengers,
Get ready, I'm a problem.
creating legacies of their own.
Oh, big kick from Lionheart. That is a fighter's fighter right there.
Anthony Lionheart Smith, relocated to light heavyweight emphatically,
Anthony Lionheart Smith by knockout tonight.
earning a title shot against Jones with 3 brutal finishes in less than 5 months.
Just cerebral, clinical destruction all the way through.
I don't care what he's done. I don't care who he's beat. I'm gonna finish Jon Jones.
Hey, make sure we're calculating that violence.
And welterweight contender Kamaru Usman will bring a 13-fight win streak
Oh, he's relentless. You get up, he's gonna put you back down.
into a co-main event title bout for Woodley's belt.
I'm coming for that welterweight strap.
The Nigerian Nightmare!
This is gonna be the passing of the torch. On March 2nd, Tyron Woodley's gonna pass that belt to me.
They think they want some.
He's getting smashed.
They don't really want none.
Go behind the scenes with dominant champions and fearless challengers, preparing to do battle in the fight capital. This is UFC 235 Countdown. One of the greatest fighters the world has ever known emerged years ago from a small town in upstate New York. The serene outskirts of Ithaca were as peaceful as the mind of a young Christian named Jon Jones.
Home sweet home. Ithaca, New York, ladies and gentlemen.
Who at 22 years of age, traveled west in pursuit of an improbable craft. His calling was mixed martial arts, and his new home would be the Jackson Wink Academy in Albuquerque.
So remember, our second ground and pound position is he has the inside control, so I put this flat on the mat and I'm pushing my hips back. So if he tries to sweep me back over this way, they see how I'm fighting it. My weight is back and I'm blocking his hips out here. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody got it? Let's go.
The Jon from the early days was one of gratitude and gratefulness, and I still see a lot of that in him.
He's matured quite a bit, but he always wants to have fun.
He's charismatic, a great teammate, a great student, a family man. But the best fighters, for as charismatic and as charming as they can be, also have a very dark side where they're not afraid to really hurt someone.
Jones was a fighting phenom and quickly became the youngest UFC champion in history.
He's got him. Looking to do it right here.
With a shocking affinity for violence.
He's got a choke. He missed out. Man. Shit again. He hurt him. Now he's going for a Kimura T-tap.
All over Sonnenbreit here in the first round.
When I go out there, I'm just in my comfort zone, doing what I genuinely feel I was put on earth to do. I just go and be the artist that I am, make a beautiful masterpiece.
Jon Jones is imposing his will on Glover in this fight. Oh! He's really taking it to DC. Oh, man. Owens is in huge, huge trouble here.
That's a heavy takedown.
Jones crushed his opponents over 11 straight title fights.
Jon Jones has done it!
Wow. Which led him most recently to Los Angeles, California, for a rematch with the man who came closest to defeating him.
This man is ubiquitously regarded as the greatest mixed martial arts athlete to step foot inside that octagon. And tonight, the #2 ranked light heavyweight contender, Alexander Gustafsson, trying to become the first Swede to break through and win a UFC title. And he believes he is a far better version than the one Jon Jones saw back in 2013.
What you see with Jon is unprecedented talent, and he's a man who figures out a way to win. And he has done that over and over again against the best light heavyweights on the planet Earth.
Jon Jones, Alexander Gustafsson. The rematch is upon us.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Hello, let's go!
A lot of reading of range and timing going on right now to keep things offset. Guessing.
Oh, lead elbow from Jones lands.
And a nice front kick to the body as well.
Gustafsson continuing to switch up the footwork, moves as well as any light heavyweight.
Jon's doing a good job keeping him at kick range.
Nice body kick and then an inside leg kick by Jones. There he goes. Now Gustafsson's opening up, and Jon Jones with a kick to the body. And there's a knee on the break by Jon. Oh, strong kick by Jon. Oh, he hurt him with that one. I think Alex's left leg is hurt.
Good entry there by Jones. He gets his first takedown.
Elbows by Jones.
As long as Jon hooks that leg, he's not getting up. Now he's got a half Nelson here to keep Alex from bellying out.
He's going to take Alex's back. This is a bad position for Alex. He's got to scramble out of here. Oh, big shots. Big shots by Jon Jones. Gustafsson's in trouble. That's it.
Jones has regained the throne.
Wow.
Masterfully done to potentially cap his rivalry here with Alexander Gustafsson.
UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jon Jones.
We'll see what is next, but tonight belongs to Johnny Bones.
Woo, thank you, Mama. Woo.
So, Jon, would you take on this guy here at the desk, Anthony Smith?
Bro, I will defeat whoever I have to defeat.
Jon, what do you have planned in July?
July? Bro, I got you in July, if that's what it's gonna be. I got anybody, bro. You know I'm not worried about a damn thing. You know that.
UFC light heavyweight Anthony Smith was granted his wish to fight Jon Jones sooner than expected. But the fast booking of a March 2nd title bout with the champion was nothing new for the man who has seized opportunities from the very beginning.
I was kind of floating around life and not really knowing what I was going to do. I had just dropped out of high school, and I went into a Subway with just a buddy of mine to go get some food, and I seen a flyer for an amateur fight night in Omaha. I don't know, for whatever reason, I thought that this sounded like a good idea to try it.
I'll be back in that stance defensively when you're done. Get in that low wrestling stance.
I wasn't very good. I loved it, though.
There you go.
From Omaha, Nebraska, Anthony the Lionheart Smith.
The fighter known as Lionheart first earned his stripes as a 185-pounder.
That is just insanity.
By fighting frequently and winning convincingly.
Looking for the triangle choke is Lionheart Anthony Smith.
I've had 44 professional fights, and I had 30 amateur fights. I just love this. I can't think of anything else that I'd want to do.
Huge knee. Here comes Anthony Smith turning things on, and that is it.
Sometimes being in the octagon is the only place that I really feel I belong.
Before I say anything else, Dana White, my name's Anthony Smith, and I'd like a shot.
This is the kind of walk that every fighter wants to make to the UFC octagon. He's finally here.
Smith's aggressive approach translated well to the UFC.
And Smith is chewing him up.
As middleweights were laid to waste.
Oh, drops him with the elbow. What a frame for the middleweight division at 6'5". Oh, big kick from Lionheart. That is a fighter's fighter right there. That one caught Lombard's attention.
Anthony, you know my name yet? You know my name yet?
That right hand's
Oh!
It's over. That's it.
Anthony Smith, hey,
He has as much momentum in the big show as he has ever had.
But a 3-fight knockout streak was interrupted by his greatest learning experience.
Look out, that will do it.
I competed at middleweight for about 10 years. I thought that I was doing the right thing by cutting down to the lowest weight class that I could make it to, thinking that I was gaining an advantage. And I just decided that it wasn't fair to me, it wasn't fair to my coaches, it wasn't fair to my family to be bringing a subpar product into the octagon.
Hey, guys, once we're done with the warm-up, we're gonna head back this way. We got ladder drills to start, guys.
More than 70 fights across Anthony Smith's amateur and professional career took place at 185 pounds.
Rhythm and tempo, guys. Ball to foot contact.
So he would make a long overdue transformation.
Back here.
With a permanent move to the light heavyweight division.
You guys are gonna go 6 positional get-ups, right? As you guys come up, attack it. Sense of urgency. Go. You just see a different kind of athlete when they start to deplete their calories and they're dehydrated, they're coming in irritated. But when you're not having to do such a big weight cut, we can really work on that performance aspect. Good push, good pace, and just really power through everything that he has to do in a fight camp. 3, 2, 1, let's see it. Give me 6. Let's get up. We don't slow down.
It's been a day and night difference. I'm much happier. I'm not cutting weight almost at all.
Break the wall, gentlemen, let's go. Drive, break it.
I'm able to go into the fights and bring the product that I build in the gym to the actual competition, and it makes a huge difference.
In 3, 2, 1, here you go. Shadow box, 30 seconds. Snap it, Lionheart. Yes. Good movement. Don't stay in one spot.
The new light heavyweight contender, Anthony Lionheart Smith, is just getting started in the 205-pound division.
Hey, make sure we're calculating that violence.
There it is. That's it. That's it.
And one for good measure, Anthony Lionheart Smith by knockout tonight.
Do it again. Too high.
2 former UFC champions in 2 fights.
Just cerebral, clinical destruction all the way through.
Let's go, Anthony. Push. What he's done in the 205 division in such a short time is just monumental.
My oh my, is this man's career trending in the right direction?
Bigger, stronger. Anthony Smith is a killer. Looks like a real legit light heavyweight.
Smash!
Both hooks in now.
Don't just finish the round, finish the fight.
It is nothing but misery.
Finish this fight, let's go.
Oh, it is itself!
At UFC 235, the fans are going to see a changing of the guard, and they're going to see a new world champion at 205 pounds.
What a fascinating addition to the light heavyweight division.
In the American Midwest, farmland stretches for thousands of miles. And while major cities can be found in between these vast rural expanses, high-level MMA training is especially scarce. For UFC light heavyweight title challenger Anthony Smith, this reality hits close to home.
I live in Omaha, Nebraska. I have 3 daughters and a fiance, Michaela. And I knew that I needed a little bit more structure for training camp. But leaving your home to train in a different place in another state for weeks and weeks on end, it's a huge sacrifice.
Is that fun?
I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do that, that it was going to make a difference. And there's no other place that I would leave my family for than Factory X.
Factory X is emerging as one of Denver, Colorado's premier training destinations. Run by head coach Mark Montoya, whose roster of athletes and trainers
Just throw hands light, but I just want a bunch of kicking out of him.
are fully dedicated to Smith's fighting success.
I fell in love with the gym. I fell in love with Mark's coaching style, and he's been guiding me through this whole whirlwind that we've been on.
He comes lead side, a shake. Anthony Smith's a fighter. That's his style. And to see him evolve has been a great testament to the commitment that both he, the team here at Factory X, and I have. That's money. Just stay in posture like that. We haven't won a world title yet in the UFC, but Anthony Smith gets that opportunity on March 2nd. Yeah, see how he's off balance? Time.
Becoming the gym's first UFC champion means entering uncharted territory.
This man is regarded as the greatest mixed martial arts athlete to step foot inside that octagon.
No light heavyweight title challenger has ever seized the belt from Jon Jones.
Oh, my!
Instead, contenders leave the octagon
Oh, nasty!
in worse condition than when they entered.
All over him right here in the first round.
We've just seen domination.
Which fuels the confidence of the champion.
You got to be able to match him mentally. He's extremely strong in the mental aspect of the game.
He's such a polarizing figure. I think that he beats people before they even leave the locker room. And that's just not the case with me.
Anthony's a rock. You know, a lot of this stuff just doesn't faze him. You know, he understands it's a fight between two men.
I don't have to try to not be afraid of Jon Jones.
This confidence, this is what comes from destroying top flight competition.
He's never going to shake me. He's never going to intimidate me. He's not going to break me. And March 2nd, everybody's going to see that.
Unwavering self-belief is commonplace for a champion favored to win every fight.
From his first fight, we've just seen domination.
But Jon Jones remains cautious ahead of his title bout with Smith. Now that he pairs natural fighting ability with valuable experience.
Fights like this, when you have a guy that's such a huge underdog, are the most dangerous for the favorite.
Nice inside leg kick to start off by Gustafsson.
The first time I fought Alexander Gustafsson,
Oh, and there's that right hand. That's what I was talking about.
I really thought I was at a place where I just could not lose.
Look at that.
The champion is cut.
Oh, going high. There's a nice elbow. Oh, that might have hurt him.
Yeah, that's
By
it.
unanimous decision.
I did win the fight, but I promised myself I'll never make that mistake again.
The rematch is upon us.
You ready to fight? Handle, let's go.
The maturation of Jones shined through
Oh, lead elbow from Jones lands.
in his rematch with Gustafsson 5 years later.
You know, this time, barely got hit.
Jones outlanding Gus by a 2-1 margin thus far.
Clearly outscored him.
Gustafsson's in trouble. That's it.
Jon Jones
That's
has
it.
regained the throne!
It was beautiful. After the fight, I was completely healthy, and that was very important because my New Year's resolution was to remain extremely active and to compete 4 times this year. I've spent a lot of time under suspension. I feel like it's only fair to the fans to give them what they want, and that's an extremely busy champion.
Jones is placing doping violations and out-of-competition indiscretions behind him. The true veteran now monitors his body closely.
Just calm down. For the next 25 minutes, we're gonna swim really easy. That's all you need to worry about right now, okay?
He's also putting greater focus into low-impact training methods
All right, let's go. Nice and easy. Down and back, guys.
to give him both the physical and mental edge on fight night.
Swimming doesn't break down your body the way that running does, but mostly the struggle is what we built here. It's a good way to get him uncomfortable and kind of scare him a little bit, so that way when he's in deep water, he knows what it's like to be in deep water. Get ready. This one's fast. I want you moving fast. Ready? Go.
Fighting is about 90% mental.
Looking good, John. Keep it up.
Every man has 2 arms and 2 legs, and every guy can hit the gym.
Kick those feet hard.
But what makes fighters compete differently and what's going on between the ears.
Get to that wall. Touch that wall.
My mindset is to respect Anthony, but to go right through him.
Ahead of his UFC 235 title shot against light heavyweight champion and heavy favorite Jon Jones, Anthony Smith sees opportunity where many before him have failed.
Jon Jones is a phenomenal athlete. He's probably the best fighter that we've ever seen do it.
Then go to the body.
But Jon Jones has several flaws.
1, 1, 2. I don't know why people haven't picked up on it before, but, Jon has a lot of tendencies, and, Jon's tendencies fall on Anthony's strengths. We've put together a really good game plan, and we're really, really confident that Anthony's gonna execute. 1, 1, 2. There you go.
Jon Jones is a master of strategy.
He's a champion. He's a man who figures out a way to win.
So Smith and his team are preparing for the chess match in Las Vegas by analyzing the shortcomings of Jones's most recent victim.
Alexander Gustafsson, Jon Jones.
Gus needs to let his hands go. He needs to start throwing more combinations to the body.
It seems to me that he's waiting on Jon a bit.
Alexander really tried to pressure the boxing range.
Alex just got to get in that boxing range, and he can't get there.
He didn't really adjust his game or come with anything new.
A lot of pressure by Gustafsson, but he's having a hard time reaching Jon here.
So Jon was able to catch that takedown basically because, Gus didn't really have an answer.
Good entry there by Jones.
Jon Jones on top.
Gus let himself get rolled flat to his back immediately, so he got stuck here. He didn't try to frame early off the takedown. He didn't get on his hip. So then when Jon went here and put the forearm in his neck, he was really like, oh, really what should have happened is he should have been working, because Jon's head was here, he should have been working to bring him up.
Side control for Jon Jones.
But even if I can't come underneath, now I at least can stretch and start to play my guard.
I'm not looking to go in there and catch Jon with something lucky.
Because he's long like you, when he turns his hips, he's gonna have a lot more space than I would. Right. Being shorter and stockier. It's actually gonna be easier to slide the hook in.
I'm preparing to beat Jon Jones everywhere the fight goes.
Keep turning. Yeah, you see what I mean? Yeah, so the whole time it's just like, you're turning, you're trying so hard to turn, but you're turning slow so I can follow you really easy.
If I just go in there and I do what we've trained to do, the cards are gonna fall on my favor.
The arsenal of Jon Jones is meticulously examined by every light heavyweight on the planet. So constant observation by Anthony Smith is business as usual for the Jackson Wink Academy, where they too spend countless hours breaking down their opposition.
Anthony Smith believes that I have a lot of holes in my game. They believe that they're the team to exploit them. But I've been hearing that for 10 years, and so far no one's been able to do it.
Jon's getting better and better with every fight, and he watches so much film that he knows what his opponent's gonna do sometimes before his opponent even knows it. He feels really good about the game plan we're already putting in, and we're real happy right now with where Jon Jones is at.
We go out extremely prepared, and even though the odds makers take him lightly, we don't at all. That's why I'm here in Vegas with my whole coaching staff.
Wonderful. I think that's all we need here. Thank you so much, John.
Sweet, guys.
Well, we'll just pull you next door, and this really won't take all that long, I think.
In the lead up to his next title defense, Jones has touched down in the fight capital of the world for a 3-day business trip, spent training at the Performance Institute and fulfilling media obligations.
We're just going to basically have you kind of shadow box, hoping that you can work in some of these moves that fans recognize from fights. Actually, right now, it's perfect. There, that's good, that's good. Here we go, we're going to roll. Couple head kicks. Superman punch. And look at the camera. Nice. That's awesome. Cool. Awesome.
The brief interruption to fight camp comes with the territory of being UFC champion. But good company helps to pass the time.
I got my jiu-jitsu coach here, Professor Roberto Alencar from Brazil. Got Coach Izzy out here with me. It's been a great help and a lot of fun as well. You know, if it's not fun, if you're not having fun, you're not enjoying what you're doing, then it's not worth it. And so, you know, being in Vegas with some of your closest friends, it's awesome. Sometimes it's hard to believe you're getting paid to do this.
This is more than just a team, you know. We are considered a family, you know. So we hang out here and having fun, and it's enjoyable.
I've been fortunate enough to travel around the world with a lot of fighters. There's nothing like traveling with John Jones.
What's up, fight fans? John Bones Jones here, telling you not to miss UFC 235 when I defend my light heavyweight title against Anthony Smith. Trust me when I tell you, I'm not leaving the octagon without my belt.
Hey, great. Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, too.
They want you to give a shout to Chinese New Year to everyone in China, if you wouldn't mind doing that for us. Do you want to try saying it in Mandarin, too?
I'll try. Ni hao, everyone in China. This is UFC light heavyweight champion John Bones Jones. Wanted to say, well, aini for all the support, and Qing Jing Chai Le. I don't know how I did, but Happy New Year.
After making the rounds, Jones is joined by other members of the stacked UFC 235 fight card for the on-sale press conference to promote the massive pay-per-view event on March 2nd.
Press conferences are always great. It's a good time to get the fans excited.
First, I want to thank everybody who made it out, all the fans in Las Vegas. Thank you guys so much.
One of my favorite quotes is, if you want to know what's in a man's head, you listen to the words that's coming out of his mouth. So I'm listening very closely to my opponent.
Anthony, I want to ask you, do you believe that you possess something different inside of you, a skill, a trait, whatever it may be, that he hasn't seen before?
I think that I have the answer, I really do, or I wouldn't be here. We know what's in front of us. We know what John brings to the table. There's plenty of footage out there, and to me, it's another fight, and I've been chasing this dream to be a world champion for a long time.
The Lionheart piling on the pressure.
A life's work has led Anthony Smith to the brink of a historic achievement.
There's a stoppage for Anthony Smith!
A title bout where he can become the first to dethrone a combat sports Goliath and seize UFC gold from the great John Jones.
In order to be considered the most dominant champion ever,
Let's go, baby. And still.
I have to be able to beat anyone.
And John is all over him.
I just see him as a step in this game, and that's what I'm going to do. Step on him and keep climbing to the top.
Anthony Lionheart Smith makes a massive statement.
March 2nd, I'm going to be a world champion.
There!
John Jones has regained the throne!
The fight's going to be finished. And still, you're UFC light heavyweight champion, John Bones Jones.
UFC 235's co-main event will be a 5-round title bout to crown the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Challenger to the throne will be Kamaru Usman, a staple of South Florida's MMA scene, whose journey began on the African Gulf Coast.
Growing up in Nigeria, I always knew that I was destined for something greater, something better. And my parents knew it because I always told them. Once we immigrated here, we kind of had to assimilate and start to partake in the sports that were big here in America. But it wasn't until I found wrestling that I really decided that this is what I wanted to do.
In wrestling, Usman was a natural, parlaying a Division II national championship with a run at the Olympics. And although injuries slowed his wrestling trajectory, Usman found new purpose in MMA with a burgeoning super camp. The Blackzilians represented combat athletes at every career stage, from former champions to prospects on the rise.
You got a champion heart, you'll find a way to win.
Draw power when you fight, the right hand, when you step back, boom!
These fighting nomads convened to help each other reach the peak.
Blackzilians on 3. 1, 2, 3, Blackzilians!
Each and every day it tested me because I came in as a pure wrestler, and they threw me to the wolves.
Usman showed enough promise to represent the Blackzilians on The Ultimate Fighter, where they competed with Florida rival American Top Team. And the Nigerian Nightmare had officially arrived.
It all comes down to this.
Usman could just suffocate you, and he's so athletic, and he's learning so fast. And just excellent transitions here. You know, he is an answer for everything Hassan's doing. Hassan's struggling to breathe. I can hear it here from the desk.
Look like a tap.
That's it.
Kamaru Usman comes up huge for the Blackzilians.
The Nigerian Nightmare, Usman.
The Blackzilians have since disbanded, but many of the original members have remained fixtures of Usman's fight camp.
Okay, one more warm-up round. Switch your partners. Everybody with everybody. Big, small, yellow, white, skinny as hell. Cowboys, Indians.
Such as striking trainer turned head coach, Henry Hooft.
I met him, and he was just a wrestler. We really had to go into the basic of the fundamentals of striking. In and out, movement. Let's go. For him to win that tournament was just a statement. That was the first step for him to go to the next level.
Being the Ultimate Fighter winner, this is his big show debut.
The Nigerian Nightmare, that's what he wants to be known as. And I'll tell you what, watching him on The Ultimate Fighter, he kind of is a nightmare.
Oh, he got tagged by a hard left, and Usman's all over him. Nasty ground and pound.
Usman!
It's not just the wrestling skill and technique, which he most certainly has, but it's that combined with his sheer strength.
Oh, huge right hands for Usman.
He's oozing with confidence.
Oh, big shot.
As dangerous as it gets and unbeaten in the UFC.
Oh!
He made a statement. He dropped him out cold.
170s, get ready. I'm a problem.
He's relentless. You get up, he's gonna put you back down. You try to escape this way, he's gonna follow you.
He is certainly a guy with massive potential.
I'm the most dominant and most well-rounded welterweight on the planet. Nobody can stop me.
8 consecutive UFC wins found Usman in a main event spot against former lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos.
He has applied suffocating pressure to Dos Anjos from the very beginning. Short elbow there on the left side from Usman. Heavy body shots.
Usman showing a lot of confidence in his striking.
And Usman dips levels. But this night will belong to the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
You know, I got into the sport and I made a statement. I'm coming for that welterweight strap.
At UFC 235 in Las Vegas, Usman will attempt to do what no man has ever done before. Seize the belt from reigning welterweight champion Tyron Woodley. Like Usman, Woodley is a collegiate wrestling All-American. And for this camp, the chosen one has reconnected with a former college teammate.
This might be the first time you guys watch me get my ass whooped. You ain't gonna get many, you better watch close.
Who's also the latest exciting addition to the UFC's roster, undefeated welterweight Ben Askren.
Tyron was the first Big 12 champion from Missouri, All-American as a sophomore, and we spent so many days drilling together, wrestling together, traveling together.
It was almost a gift and a curse, you know, somebody tough that you have to wrestle every day, a lot tougher than your competition, but also it prepares you for the competition. For wrestling, you have to have a certain mindset. And Kamaru Usman does possess that mindset if he won the NCAA title in Division II. But we're not gonna sit here and compare Division II to Division I. It's night and day. I've beaten so many Division II national champions. I've beaten so many Division I national champions, world team members, Olympians. If it comes down to us just wrestling with no punches, no grappling, I'm gonna win 10 out of 10 matches against him.
Oh, he tagged him!
Woodley's wrestling background translated to thunderous knockout ability in mixed martial arts.
That is what we were talking about. We're talking about the speed.
He blasted his way to the UFC title with the power in his hands.
It doesn't get any cleaner than that, folks.
Before showcasing his true fighting genius.
He really understands everything about fighting. Tyron's been intelligent enough to kind of figure out what he does well and how it's going to work against different styles.
A five-time world champion kickboxer. It has been a seamless transition into mixed martial arts for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
He's a sensational striker. He moves like a snake. He bends at the waist and moves back and forth in a very unusual and hard-to-time manner. And he can do a lot of techniques with stunning accuracy that you just rarely see inside the octagon. Look at that spinning back kick.
I completely shifted to fighting a karate-style fighter.
Oh! Woodley hurt him! Oh, he hurt him again! And still!
Then I went from that to one of the best grapplers that our sport has ever seen.
The level of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that Damian Maia possesses is just off the chart.
So a decidedly different challenge for the champion here tonight compared to his previous defenses against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Good timing there by Maia, but beautiful stuff by the champ. Tyron just shucked him off there.
Maia has one way to win. He's got to get the takedown. Woodley knows that, so he's counting on his wrestling to back him up, and then his power to defend that.
Oh, he got tagged.
So a new career high, 23 takedown attempts for Damian Maia. He has yet to land one. The path to welterweight gold still goes through Missouri.
And I went from that to the up-and-coming fighter, the young guy that had a lot of power.
Oh, beautiful uppercut off the backhand.
That left hand is ferocious. It's a rally of punches here from Darren Till.
Everyone and anyone, I don't care.
Many people thought a fighter like that could put the pressure on me, that maybe it would have been his time. But I'm not gonna let this young kid come out there and take my belt.
All eyes on the knockout artist, Darren Till, tonight. They are watching in Liverpool and beyond.
There's a cult of personality about this young man. There's something about him. He's magnetic, and he's scary.
And tonight, he can become a true star by beating a guy as accomplished as Tyron Woodley.
All right, sir, you ready? You ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
Tyron's starting much more aggressive than he normally does.
Tyron sticks and moves.
It seems like Tyron's trying to set a trap for him by backing up to the fence, and then he counters with that pullback right hand.
Oh, he's knocked down for Woodley. Till covering up. Tyron Woodley, big elbows now.
Oh! Tyron Woodley's landing bombs. He's getting smashed.
Oh!
Tyron easily just stepped over into half guard now. Oh, look out. He's looking for a dart.
Darren Till not the tap in tight. There's the tap. Whoa! Tyron Woodley remains the welterweight champ.
I dominated him, so I want to take it up a level.
UFC welterweight champion of the world, Tyron the champ.
UFC 235, I'm going to knock Kamaru Usman out.
He shut it all down tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh! Knocked down for Woodley.
Tyron Woodley's landing bombs.
Undisputed welterweight champion Tyron Woodley.
There's the tap.
Is a portrait of UFC superstardom.
Huge fan, brother. Huge fan.
From movie sets to music studios.
My single, I'll Beat Your Ass, is coming out next week, featuring Wiz Khalifa.
Life at the top can be overwhelming. But for the chosen one, a champion's lifestyle is necessary for peace of mind.
I live a chaotic life. That's why I do the music. That's why I do the acting.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, hey, right here.
It takes my mind off of the severity of I'm walking in and somebody's trying to hurt me. Somebody's trying to take my belt. So we went to a studio session.
We're at High Five Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. One of Ty's friends called me from St. Louis, and we brought him here because this was the best studio in Milwaukee. We make hit records here.
A lot of my music is made on real facts. Like, I might have been feeling this type of way when I walked into the studio, or somebody might say something completely off the wall. I'm like, oh, no, I like that. Yeah, yo, that's what music is. Everybody doesn't have exactly what they want to talk about. Sometimes it's a beat, sometimes it's an energy, and you feed off of that. Let me step out of here, and I'm gonna keep writing.
You want me to kind of just have it start from the beginning of your verse and then go to the end of it?
Yeah, that works.
All right.
I can see that he's looking at like every angle to make it the best song possible.
And it's kind of weird how that's like a bridge/verse.
So it needs like a pre-hook, hook, and then bridge. He really takes it serious like it's his craft.
Music is just another form of art. If I'm fighting, that's mixed martial arts. If it's acting, that's an art. So now I'm just trying to expound and just lift my ceiling up.
Back in sunny South Florida, Woodley's March 2nd opponent, Kamaru Usman, continues fight life with teammates who have guided him from the very beginning, such as former UFC title challenger Anthony Johnson and former light heavyweight champion Rashad Evans.
I was at the stage in my career where, I had the highs and I had the lows at that point, and I needed that spark plug in my career. And being around him, he was how I was in the beginning, always wanting to train, and he just had that hunger.
He used to come in the gym with a singlet on sparring days. Singlet on sparring days.
Froggy, I'll still do it,
He didn't know how to throw a punch to save his life, but he knew how to wrestle. That was one thing. And I still remember the day he punched me in my mouth for the first time. That's when I knew he was evolving into something special.
I was like, he's got some potential to do some things on the next level that could surprise a lot of people.
I started this journey with these guys, and I know that, our co-founder with Rashad, Glenn Robinson, is gonna be looking down right now, and he's gonna be like, wow, I knew this was gonna happen.
Today is all about this way in. It's all about Kamaru. It's all about the support to Kamaru.
In September of 2018, Glenn Robinson, co-founder of Usman's first fight team, abruptly died from a suspected heart attack.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Our house #1, and we'll do it again.
And his memory weighs heavy on the many people he touched.
There's people that step into each and every athlete's life that are instrumental in your development as not just an athlete, but as a human being. And Glenn was one of those guys. So tomorrow, go again.
Rest, recover, repeat.
He was instrumental alongside Rashad Evans in kind of kick-start my whole career.
Glenn, he brought us all together. And we were a crazy bunch. We got our ambassador right here of that time and era about to do his thing.
We're gonna do it for the home team, We started together, we're gonna finish it together. Becoming a UFC champion is validation for Glenn Robinson, validation for Sugar Rashad Evans. This is for the Black Zillions, Henry Hooft.
Henry Hooft is the present-day leader of Usman's fight preparation.
Here we go, 1, 2, 2.
The veteran of almost 90 kickboxing matches.
Step. No.
Will have his pupil well prepared for the unique style matchup with Tyron Woodley.
They'll wrestle, but both these guys want to knock people out. And Kamaru's striking is getting better every fight. 1, 2. Nice. 1, 2.
My path to victory is doing whatever I want to do. I can knock you out if I want. I can take you down and beat you up all night if I want to.
1, 2.
Whatever Woodley gives me, I'm going to take, and I will be victorious.
He already showed on his way to the title fight how great he can be. Now it's time for him to shine, and get that belt.
Hooft breeds confidence in Usman for the title bout with a seasoned champion. One who is quick to dismiss the bold mentality of his opposition.
Your coaches are supposed to tell you you're ready. They're supposed to tell you you're prepared for this. Even if you're not, if they told him that he's ready, he can beat me, they've prepared him to fail, because he's going to walk out there and he's going to get up. They're great trainers, and they're great training partners, and they're great coaches. They've done an amazing job with that team, but they haven't been on this level. My coach D was the #1 lightweight in the world at one point in time. He's fought the who's who of the sport.
Din Thomas is Woodley's longtime head coach. And the Rufus Sport Academy has opened its doors once again for the pair to immerse themselves in combat.
Coming to Wisconsin is a great situation for us because we're able to just eliminate distractions. Ira can sit down and focus, and we sit around and discuss the fight plan, and, you know, to have Duke Rufus around, we love it.
Please stay in, Coach.
The gym leader rounds out the team's preparation as the final ingredient.
Stop near the gym. Stop. Like you're stopping a takedown. Stop. That's it.
And a recipe for success.
Exactly. Stop him and rock him. There it was. Dean and I work so good together, and Tyron's so coachable. Right when you hit, squeeze your hips like you're stopping a takedown. All right? We look at every fight as an opportunity to get better. Shoulder down. And anytime a tough guy like Usman, he's getting his title shot, he's going to be hungry. We're prepared for that, though. We want him to bring it because it plays into some of the new weapons we have for the fight. Yes, stab the head, hook up. Nice.
They think they want some. They don't really want none.
The chosen one!
I'm gonna finish him. And I don't just say that because you guys want to hear it. I say that because that's what I've done.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm always trying to knock him out. I'm always trying to go for submissions.
Tyron Woodley made a statement.
And he doesn't have enough skills to stop me from doing it.
Oh, he tagged him.
Oh, knockdown for Woodley.
Once he gets in there and realizes who he's up against, he's gonna know that I'm special. I'm a different breed.
Big takedown for Usman.
March 2nd, Tyron Woodley's in for a bad night.
Woodley and Usman put words into action at UFC 235 in Las Vegas. For a 5-round title bout, it will set the stage for a light heavyweight championship main event between reigning king John Bones Jones and confident challenger Anthony Lionheart Smith.
That is a fighter's fighter right there.
I want to see this fight end with John Jones flat on his back, wondering what happened.
March 2nd, I'm going to give the fans exactly what they want to see, which is high-level mixed martial arts. I'm going to be finishing this fight.
And chill!